Hi Aries, welcome to your 2026 read. So like the video and comment, it really does help. And if you want to book your 2026, it's still on half price at this time. So I was doing them all last year, booking, stuff like that. But if you want to get your own 2026, it's last chance for the half price. If you watch this later on and you go on the website and it's up, it's just different time. So like the video, comment, hype it up so other Aries can see it. I'm excited to do this video for you because I haven't done one in a while. So you already like this, okay? But just make sure you comment and like because it really helps the channel if you like my reads. Okay, so the general theme for you, a message that was coming through is you want financial freedom. That's what I'm getting. Your career is coming up strongly. And I feel like the message for Aries is around some kind of financial independence. Maybe, for example, you are in a marriage and you're more there for the convenience, but you haven't got the financial means to leave the marriage. It can also be a job that frustrates you. It's not something you really want to do, but you kind of have to do it because you don't have the financial means to be able to leave the job. Freedom is coming up a lot for you in 2026, wanting to be free of weight, wanting to be financially free, because obviously if we're constantly struggling for money, then that can be a big weight. So, what is the general theme of the year for Aries, please? The Two of Cups. It's also just feeling underappreciated. So, some of you are working for a company and you work your face off for that company, but they don't appreciate you. So, I feel like you go there as an employer and you work at the level of a CEO or a manager and they just don't reward you. There's no growth, there's no, if you ask for time off, they complain. So, but I would say what you want is people who are working with you. You feed them, they feed you. You respect them, they respect you. This is in love, this is in career, this is in money. Some of you might be doing your own business and that's how it feels. It feels like you ride for other people, you really give your best to other people, yet they're constantly trying to hustle you. Okay? So something has to change this year, and I think it's strongly around some of you want to leave a marriage or leave a relationship. You want to be financially independent. But you're obviously scared to leave that dynamic, that situation, because you don't want to be with nothing. So that's a message for some Aries, this Empress reversed. This is a woman who is in some kind of loveless marriage or marriage of convenience, but has to be there for survival. So 2026 for you is about getting out of survival, thinking of a business or thinking of a career that can give you the freedom and the financial means to leave this person. Because there's no worse feeling than being in a relationship and it's just inauthentic. Same as like being in a job you don't like, but you'd have to be there, you'd have to pretend you like it. It's so exhausting. And Aries are not good at that. So 2026 for the ones who've been tolerating this, you need to get out. You didn't come to tolerate, right? You can do it, you can get out of it, right? Because this is what you want, the Two of Cups. Some of you want to find your true soulmate. You want love. Two of Cups is love, loyalty, respect. Some of you are with someone. This person cheats on you. This person lies to you. This person doesn't treat you the best. Okay. So what is the external forces at play? So this is things that are going on externally in 2026. Can you make it up? Five of Wands. So this is people around you or in some kind of environment, the toxic, the full of drama. Five of Wands is people who just love drama. They love a fight. They'll find a fight in an empty room. And it's often people who are unhappy or not stimulated, right? You just don't want to be around that. It can also be that you are living in an environment and it's just not a safe environment. The Five of Wands is like it's an environment that brings like a lot of fights, a lot of it's dangerous, or it's just unsettling. It's just not a peaceful place. That's why some of you want to make money so that you can start to be financially free enough to decide the environment you live in and the town you live in and the country you live in or whatever, right? Externally, it says the discourse. So for some of the Aries watching this, it could be that you're in a certain state or you're in a certain country and there's a lot of conflict, there's a lot of hypertension, and you just don't want to be associated with that. It doesn't make you feel good, it doesn't make you feel peace, of course. Okay, what is the self-sabotage for Aries in 2026? The moon, fear, anxiety, allowing other people maybe to put you into fear, anxiety. Okay, that's what this can be. So fear, anxiety. But I'm gonna say this is your fear, your anxiety that is kind of keeping you trapped in this life. It can also be where you're coming from emotions. So obviously that's normal, right? If we're trapped in something, we become emotional or we become angry. And it's valid because we're feeling trapped, we're frustrated, but it doesn't really fix the problem. What fixes the problem is when you sit down and say, right, enough's enough. I have to come up with smart strategy. I need to figure this out. And then you start to figure it out, right? And you start to get yourself out of the situation. So the self-sabotage, drugs, alcohol, drinking too much, smoking too much. I do think we live in a time where, because of the collective heaviness, people are really leaning on, addictions. They're really leaning on, because this is the addiction card, they're really leaning on poisons, toxins, but if you're going to fix your life and get to a place of health and adventure and wellness and build a business or whatever it is, you need to kind of be cognizant, you need to be awake, right? Okay, so what is the things that Aries needs to be aware of in 2026? So I'm not saying don't, have your fun, but I would say for the Aries who are like, no, I really need to fix my life, because often when we're using addictions, we're using it as an escape from reality. We're trying to escape what we feel. We're trying to escape an environment that's really triggering us or stressful. We're trying to escape what we're in. It's a form of numbing. So I'm not saying people don't enjoy these recreational stuff, of course we do, but I'm saying if you're doing it too much, it's not because you're enjoying it. Some people do, but most people, it's a numbing, you're running away from something, but eventually it just leads to more problems. The Four of Pentacles. Okay, so the Four of Pentacles is where you're clinging to what you've got, and the Four of Pentacles is also lack. I feel like some of you Aries, you want to leave a job, you want to leave a relationship, but there is a lot of fear. Okay. So what cannot be changed? Interesting. The Chariot reversed. I'm not going to lie, I feel like for some of you, there could be something that is keeping you in that place. If change is coming for some of you, it is going to take patience, it is going to take time. Because this upright is a person who's moving forward, they're leaving an accommodation, especially as this is travel. They're going to another country. Some of you, I keep hearing students, so you want to go home, but maybe you're studying in a certain country and you're kind of a bit frustrated, but some of you just don't have the freedom of movement right now that you'd like. So you want to build your studies for your future, so you kind of have to be there, but part of you would rather go home. So some of you in 2026, you're going to have to toughen up, because the rewards are not going to come straight away. Similar to some of you want to build financial freedom, it's going to take time. It's going to take patience, it's going to take time. But again, eventually, the rewards will come. Some of you might have bought a house and maybe the house is not selling. There's something this year where it's kind of, you would like to, but there does seem to be other factors at play, or timing or destiny or whatever, that could be halting. Okay, so what is the best advice for Aries to navigate 2026? Patience, build. Seven of Pentacles is building your bag, toil, hard work, putting the work in. So I do think for 2026 for Aries, there's something you want and the rewards are probably not going to be in 2026. Right? If you start the business, maybe the money, it could be 7 months in. Maybe you'll start now and the rewards will start showing in, the summer, August, etc. But they're not going to be quick. For those who want to travel or they want to go back and see family, this is when you break up for school, when you break up for university, right? This is also a person who, instead of complaining, getting frustrated, numbing themselves out, and I'm not judging you, I do it too, I've done it too, we all do it. We live in very heavy times, right? But I'm saying every time we numb ourselves out is a day we could actually be putting in the work and changing our life. So have your downtime, but also try to pull yourself up and say, if I'm going to get out of this, if my life is going to change. This can also be someone who's working on addictions. So they have heavy addictions, could be smoking, could be drinking. And so I feel like for the Aries who've got heavy addictions, they're saying if you find things to focus on, if you kind of put your focus into your work, if you put your focus into a side hustle, if you put your focus somewhere else, it will help you deal with your addiction. Because I'm getting some Aries in 2026, they want to conquer an addiction, right? And but so what people do is when they're trying to conquer an addiction, they focus on the addiction. It's like I really want to, and they keep focusing on it. No, to conquer an addiction, you need to get busy somewhere else, to the point if you forget you even had an addiction. You can't focus on two things at the same time. If you're really busy in something, you're gonna, So get distracted this year and put your head down. But I'm getting for Aries, you're just frustrated. There's something you're in personally. This is general. But there's something you're in where it's just I do not like this place. I don't like this job. I need to get out of this. But what I'm getting here is emotionalising it, getting angry, losing control is not going to fix it. Putting your head down, planting the right seeds, staying committed, giving yourself some breathing space, balance, and in a few months you'll see completely different results. Okay, so what about health this year for Aries? What do we see? 9 of Pentacles. So basically your health is tied to money and it's tied to freedom. So the more that you can work on money, maybe some of you are successful already, so use your money to improve your health. Right, if you've got bag, then you should be using that to, look after yourself in whatever way. It could be massages, it could be certain treatments. Some of you have already got money, use it. But some of you, by working on your money, by starting a business, by having the freedom to work when you want to work, your health is going to improve massively. Because that's what the 9 of Pentacles is. This woman no longer needs to watch her bag. She no longer needs to, be here at this time and place. She can dictate when she works, how much money she makes. So some of you, this is strongly around starting your own business or basically working for a company to which, okay, you have to work hard. That's what this is, right? You have to put the time in. You have to work hard, but you're receiving the rewards. Because Aries is not asking for the world, you're just asking for respect. I feed you, you feed me. I water you, you water me. But I love this because I feel like what's going to improve your health. Also, for me, the 9 of Pentacles is somebody, this card represents wine. So for the Aries who are watching this, who love a glass of wine, who doesn't, just not every night. This is what you've got to work on, right? It's fine, listen, we're going to die, something's going to get us. Something's going to get us. So live your life, eat the cake, drink the drink. But I'm saying if we're doing it excessively, so some of yous, I feel like this is the winery. So this is a woman who owns a winery. But the message here is start eating greens, start eating better food, start investing your money in good health, vitamins, stuff like this, okay? What about love for Aries in 2026, please? Okay, so we've got the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords can be, it can be someone who's got a bad attitude. It can be someone who talks down to us. So it can be someone we're in a relationship with, and the minute they don't like what we're doing, they go for the low blow. They start saying things. But the problem is when they finished being in a mood, you don't forget what they said. This can be someone who's got a lot of childhood wounds as well. So this can be someone who really needs to heal rather than be in a relationship. So it's the same for Aries this year. Like, some of years, maybe you need to like work on yourself. You know, some years are just like, it's better I just stay on my own, work on my bag, work on myself. Because I do think if you've got issues and then you go getting with someone else and then they've got issues, everyone's got fucking issues. You know? So sometimes it is like, it's best to focus on one thing at a time and just be like, okay, I'm going to get me right, I'm going to work on me, I'm going to work on my business, I'm going to work on money, and then I'll think about love later. You know, sometimes we're on our own and we're in the build phase and we meet someone and that person's just compatible and they work well with us, and some people get that, right? But a lot of people don't. And you end up in a disaster because you're trying to build your life, but you're also trying to feed your desires. Okay? Some of you could be dealing with a Leo, you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Leo could be a good fit for you in 2026 just because we've got this here. But essentially, what you're looking for is someone who's on the same wavelength. They want the same as you, right? Because sometimes if we're working in opposition, it's just going to be a disaster. So you both have the same temperament, you're both going in the same direction, you're very similar, and so it just works, okay? Yeah, and then we've got the Page of Cups reversed. Some of you might not be letting love in, right? So the Page of Swords can be someone who's been wounded in the past and they're just not letting love in, because that's what this is. So this person is rejecting any love offers, they're kind of staying to themselves. But some of you are doing this because right now love just is not your focus. Some of you might already be in a relationship or a marriage and you're working through these things. If you're in a relationship or a marriage though, I feel like some of you are with someone who's extremely childish. I feel like this person's got a lot of childhood stuff that they haven't worked through and they projected a lot into the relationship. Maybe that's why you want to leave this person. The romance might not be there, the love might not be there, like this person just might not make the effort. Because love is an investment like anything else, okay? And people forget this because they just want the, you know, the desire, the airy-fairy feelings, right? They don't actually want to put the work in, okay? So the other side of the coin is you need to be careful with hurting people this year. If love is not something you're invested in, then don't go giving anyone false hope, because it's not, you're not serious, right? So this is a year for the Aries who, if you can just, you know, we've all got desires, we've all got things we want, but if you can just kind of look at what is a main priority for you and focus on that, I think you'll achieve a lot. If you try to have everything, if you come from an immature place, if you feel sorry for yourself, if you avoid things, numb out, the Lovers, okay? So for the Aries man, you could be asking for divine guidance around a relationship or a marriage. But I feel like there's also a strong message for the Aries woman to choose somebody who is divine, your divine counterpart. And I think we live in a time where a lot of people get with the demonic counterpart and think it's divine. You know, when you're in a divine connection, it's going to support you, it's going to elevate you, it's going to, you know, it's not going to drain you, it's not going to be abusive, it's not going to be, that's not love. So I'm going to say for Aries in 2026, it's going to be on your choices. And I'm also getting for the Aries woman who's been dealing with a very immature masculine. I feel like you got into a relationship with this person, but this person has just not done any of the work, right? And I think you want to leave this person because you're looking for your divine counterpart. You're looking for an equal. I feel like this person is poison, but a lot of these men who've not done the work, they're just poison. They're poison to society. They're poison, right? Okay, so what else what's the blessings that are coming Aries' way this year? Ooh, 7 of Cups. So for some of you as well, the blessing could be you start a business and then lots of clients come in, or you start something and then more ideas come off it. You know? This can be you start something and you've got one idea in mind and then you start making multiple sources of income. For those who are single, that's why they're saying don't settle. You know, the 7 of Cups can be having lots of options. So I'm going to say that, you know, this is also lots of gifts, lots of, it could be lots of people who are interested in us. I think some of you Aries are going to do really well this year, but there's still a responsibility. So, you know, it's good when a lot of people are attracted to us, but just be careful how you deal with people, right? It's good to have gifts, but sometimes you should reject them, you know? It's good to have options. So the blessings is a lot of stuff is going to be sent your way this year, but it doesn't mean you need to choose it all. Okay, you've got to be classy, you've got to be smart, right? And the thing that they cannot change in 2026, please. So there's someone in your life who you just can't change. Like, this person's not going to change. I feel like for some of you Aries women, you're dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. I feel like this person is just full of excuses. Like, that's it. They don't want to heal. They don't want to do the work. I feel like they're stuck in a rut, and they just don't want to change. You could also be dealing with someone who's got addictions. You know, remember we talked about this before, right? Which is, and again, it is our responsibility. You know, people go getting with people who are completely different, and then we try to change those people. And sometimes the best thing you can do is say thank you for the experience that we've had together, but we're just not compatible. People have to make everything a big war, a big battle. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Sometimes people just want to stay who they are. And I think the best thing you can do is, instead of trying to change the person, just go find someone who works with you. That's it. People will literally pull each other apart because they've spent time together, instead of being mature and saying, you know, we just don't work. Maybe we did in the past, but we just don't work now. Like, this don't work. You're not happy, I'm not happy. That's it. Right. So, this is also a big message for Aries, to not pull your hair out trying to get people to change, or change an environment, or try to fit where you don't belong. Okay? If you've been dealing with a masculine, I just don't feel like this person is going to fight for you. I don't. Even for the Aries man, you could be dealing with what this person doesn't seem to care. These people in this job, you've given everything, you've broke your back, they don't care. That's it. You don't need to sit down with a therapist and hash it out and understand. Sometimes it isn't just I'll let you connect the dots. Like, that's also something that immature people do. They constantly try to understand the obvious. You know? It's obvious. If a person doesn't want a commitment, it's obvious. If people are disrespecting you, it's obvious. It's obvious. You know, we'll literally send ourselves insane for the obvious. Okay? But I do love this for you. I feel like 2026 is very much about, basically, if you are willing to, it's also about, firstly, it's about Aries valuing themselves enough to protect themselves, protect their energy, protect the peace. It's Aries being combative enough to say, if these people don't respect me, I'm not going to beg for it. I'll just go find people who will. you know. It's Aries. Some of you have, I wouldn't say lost your self-respect, but you've allowed yourself to fall down, and you've got to get up. You fell into some kind of addiction, or you fell into some kind of hole, or some kind of life that you're really not happy with. It happens to the best of people. The road to hell is paved with the best intentions. But you've got to get yourself out. That's what 2026 is about. 2026 is about not blaming people, projecting onto people. If you're in a relationship and that person's an idiot, respectfully, and they're immature and they just don't do the work, it's like you can go on about that person, or you can say, I've got to leave. If you're in a job where people don't respect you, you can't make them respect you, but you could go find a job that will. So the Two of Cups is kind of being loyal enough to yourself that you can then go find those people who align with that. But as a theme of the year, the Two of Cups is, this is strong. This is very strong. I'm getting people leaving marriages for other people. It's being courageous enough and strong enough to do the thing that might be hard now, but it's the right thing later. Do the thing that might be hard now, but is going to bring a lot of rewards later. But you're going to have to, let me just pull 3 more cards. Something is over, the Ace of Cups reversed. Like, and if you're dealing with a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, I airdrop the drink. So alcohol is coming up all over this reading. A serious addiction. Okay. Now again, I'm not saying don't have your fun. The other side of the coin is some people are better go and just completely teetotal because they're not capable of regulation. Some people, you know, they can dance with alcohol a bit, the Devil reversed, and they can moderate it, they can regulate it. But some people, the minute they have a tipple, they're gone. I can be one of them. So sometimes the best thing to say is, you know what, this year, cleaning it up. And if that means none, then none, right? Another one is not chasing. Basically, the Ace of Cups reversed is like demonic, because the Ace of Cups upright is the hand of God. The offer is coming from God, whereas the Ace of Cups reversed is what's being offered to you is not godly, it's not divine, it's not pure. Okay. 9 of Cups reversed. So definitely with the Devil reversed, the 9 of Cups reversed, this is saying basically getting out of hedonistic pleasure, getting out of excess, cleaning up your act. And I would also say for the Aries woman, it's getting away from men who are just never going to fulfill you, they're never going to commit, they're never going to be loyal to you, they're never going to change. It could also be for the Aries man. So Aries needs to get real with themselves this year, and I think if they do, it's going to be a spectacular year. The Magician. Focus on you. The Magician is you. You know, this is someone who's cleaning up their act, right? They're starting to get physically strong, they're starting to work on money, they're spiritually connected, they're taking responsibility, they're clean enough to be able to listen to the divine. When we comatose ourselves, we numb ourselves, we're not connected, right? There's going to be massive rewards for relying on yourself, pulling your socks up, and not looking for anyone to save you, not blaming anyone, not projecting. But at first it won't be easy, you know. And also I think just seeing things for what they are and seeing people for what they are is a saviour in itself. Not trying to understand it, just seeing it for what it is and saying, okay, you know, I know what I want, I know it's not this, and that's all that is to that story. So this is a general read. You can book your own read. I hope this was helpful. But yeah, for the Aries who really get serious this year, there's going to be massive rewards because the divine is supporting you. You're organised, you're put together, you're disciplined, your head's down, you're working hard. You're surrounded with people who are generally, because solidarity is when you feel supported. You know, these two people, they understand each other, they've got the same posture, they're mirroring each other, they understand each other. This can be starting a business with a friend, this can be getting a business partner. Like, Aries needs to think about what it wants, and then anything that isn't that, even if it's hard to do at first, just do it. Just do it. Because I feel like the Aries who carry on, the 8 of Wands is just basically low vibe. It's no movement. It's just feeling stuck. And the start of your reading is just feeling frustrated and angry and not in a good place because of that. You could also be lashing out. You could be acting out. You could be damaging yourself because of where you are and what you're in. Because that's what happens, right? So this can be either a winner's year, really, or it can just be, well, you know what it is. Enjoy your read, and I'll speak to you soon.